Action!
It is coming this summer. I am your host, Ryan Superbad Sharp. I am coming to you alone today yet again. We are fixing the problems. Beans board still is down for the count, so we're going to patch in Frank as much as we can. I hope you enjoyed him on the last episode when we discussed the Will Smith versus Chris Rock debacle at the Oscars. But I, today, am here to bring you my thoughts on my dream come true, Moon Knight. Marvel's Moon Knight is officially out. Episode 1 dropped today. It is Marvel Wednesdays because that's the day they picked for shows to come out for some reason. Now, I want to get straight to it saying I loved this episode. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And I thought I was going to have a lot of issues with the show as a TV show instead of a movie. Instead of just getting a 2-hour Moon Knight thing and give me all of that. But this episode was fantastic. Fantastic. And a start to what hopefully is a great series. Now, the beginning of the episode definitely has its problems, but it's clearly setting up everything. Like, the first time we get Stephen Grant, Oscar Isaac, who kills it in this role, by the way. His acting, the scene at the restaurant where he's, like, crying and ordering steak, through tears. Like, bro, they absolutely killed it, especially when they're switching off between Steven and Mark Spector. I like that Steven is just, like, this nerdy gift shop guy who thinks he's just crazy and has to tape his door, put sand everywhere so he thinks he doesn't get up. But then every time at night, I guess it's like at night because, Moon Night. So he transforms into, or Mark Spector takes over and then goes to do Mark Spector shenanigans. And then we just get Stephen Grant, like, back in his bed just like nothing ever happened. Just like nothing happened. So he literally thinks he's going absolutely crazy. And I liked that the first episode was super chaotic. The music does a lot of cool things where they select certain songs to play at, like, not opportune times. Like, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, Wham is playing during this car chase. And I don't think it's for, like, a comedy aspect. I think it's, like, because the tone of the scene is still, like, dramatic. So the fact that there's Wham playing in the background doesn't make the scene, like, comedic. It just makes it, like, disorienting. So you're just felt like this weird, like, chest compression of, like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable, but in the best way possible. So throughout the episode, every time Mark takes over and Konchu takes over, who's the god of whatever moons or whatever, every time they take over, he blacks out, which happens a lot more than I expected it would throughout the episode. And especially the first scene when he's throwing the Rubik's Cube, like, up in the air and he's playing the tape, the self-help, like, tape in the background. Like, that was a really cool scene. And then it's played for a laugh, which was also really funny when he blacks out and he's just in the field with his, like, jaw broken. And there's, like, guys shooting at him and he's, like, in the middle of nowhere. So I liked that it disoriented you, the viewer, as much as it did Stephen Grant. So it's basically like we're in his shoes for this episode. Now, there are clearly other scenes that happen when he's blacked out. So my theories for episode 2, and I know that might be a little early to just do episode 1 again, but I think we're going to get the same episode just from Mark Spector's perspective and Konchu. I think we're going to get somewhat of their origin because Steven finds the phone that is, like, tied to Mark's life and the life that he leads over there. So I think we're going to get some of those blanks filled in before the series is over. And I think we're going to get them filled in super early on, like next episode. Because if not, then the blackout scenes are a little weird, and I don't know if they're necessary, because otherwise I would have just liked to see Mark in the Moon Knight costume beating up goons. like we got at the end of the series episode, where he goes and dons the full costume because Stephen Grant's life is in danger and he's about to get attacked by this jackal Anubis sort of demon dog thing, and he full on dons the outfit. Now, I had a problem with Konchu, which is the god who is like Mark is like his avatar or whatever. Like they explain pretty much some of that, but I didn't like his voice, and I thought it was weird that we saw and heard him already. Now, I get that he's like trying to control Mark, but it doesn't really make sense that when Steven is awake, he like can't control that. And also they say awake a lot. So like when Steven's in control, is Mark Spector sleeping inside of his body, like in his mind? But then later on in the episode, they're like communicating with each other. So I thought for the whole time, instead of having Konchu talk to him right at the start, it just should have been Mark. So he's like hearing himself in his head, like without the accent, and he's just it's less jarring for him, and maybe he'll buy that it's just like his inner monologue or whatever. But the fact that there's this guy screaming at him and he's got a bird skull head, which when he's walking towards Mark in that elevator is some of the coolest cinematography I think in any Marvel movie, and it makes me so hyped for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The fact that they're going more horror aspect, if you will, I like it. I liked it a lot. I thought Khonshu's design was fucking spot on, and I had a smile on my face the entire time he was on screen. That disregarding what I said earlier, take it into account, but the fact that he looks cool, but like the voice is just a little off for me, and maybe that was because it was disembodied inside of his own head. And also I really didn't expect to get the suit in episode 1, which I really like. The episode starts and I'm like, oh man, we're going to spend a lot of time with Steven, I think. We're going to spend a lot of time with Steven, and not till the end of the series will we get the suit and Mark Spector and Konchu. And they gave it to us in the first episode, because I think they know that Moon Knight is like, it's Moon Knight. The fact that so many people are talking about Moon Knight now because the show is out, like, blows my mind. That, like, Moon Knight is just a term people say now because it's like become in the mainstream. Like, Moon Knight used to be, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Nobody cared about Moon Knight. Nobody cared about Moon Knight. And the fact that he has his own show now is perfect. You give me Moon Knight, and now we got Nova coming out. That's my two. I'll be good. You put those two in the MCU, and we got one, and we're getting the other. So when that happens, I'm out. I do think it's a little early for Moon Knight, especially since I just said, that I wanted him a lot. But like, I don't know. It seems they're introducing a lot of characters too quickly now, and we haven't gotten the chance for the characters they set up in the Infinity Saga to come out of their shell, really. Like, Doctor Strange is only on his second movie, and I get that he's been in other things, but like, Spider-Man's story is already done. It's already complete. He's already had an arc in the series. I don't think Doctor Strange has had an arc yet. So if this second movie is retiring Doctor Strange so soon, then I think it's too early for Miss Marvels and Moon Knights and She-Hulks and all that. I mean, you got to keep adding characters. I get that, but give your other previous characters time to flourish. Like, I can't think of any examples, but like, it sucks that what happened with Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa and all the recasting problems. But like, his character, like Black Panther, would be, let's see that world more than keep introducing characters like the Eternals and Shang-Chi and Moon Knight into the Marvel mainstream zeitgeist, whatever word you want to call it. Instead of that, just, you had Endgame, and it was like the end to a perfect thing, but like, it ended the first 6 Avengers story. Every other character that's introduced still has a story to tell, like, from that point forward. And they did it with Spider-Man. I feel like they completed Vision's story really well. I feel like Scarlet Witch is on a good track to becoming her full character. I don't think she's anywhere close to being done. Thor is still a part of the mess, I guess, and he's about to have his send off in Thor 4. The Guardians are going to have their send off. So they have to set up more characters. I get that, but it just seems like it's a little too soon to have Moon Knight shoved into the bunch. And I don't know if watching this episode makes me excited to have Moon Knight in an Avengers team up ensemble movie as much as it was back then in Civil War to hear that Spider-Man and Black Panther are going to be in the movie, because we had no idea. And the fact, I think there's a problem with this being a show instead of a movie, because the Marvel shows are good, but they just go on for a really long time. And it's like the fact that you have to watch it week to week, I think hurts those series like Loki and WandaVision. WandaVision was a different thing, but like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, those could have been, maybe not Loki, but Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been like a movie. There's some shows that should be movies and some movies that should be shows. I don't think we needed a full-on Shang-Chi movie. I'm totally glad we got it, and that movie is rad. It's a rad kung fu movie, and I don't think it would have looked as good as a TV show, but I felt I needed more setup, and the shows have spoiled me with that. Like, I need more setup for a character than a 2-hour movie for some of them. That being said, Moon Knight, I don't know how long the mystery is going to be, because by the time the show's over, they're going to be like, oh, we're cool, we're superhero now. Like, we beat the fuck out of Ethan Hawke. You know, we all know how to do things together, you know, Mark, Steven, whatever. Also, I don't know if we're getting Jake Lockley, who's like the cab driver guy. I think they're just literally writing him out of the fucking series, which I'm okay if they only keep Mark and Steven just for the audience to not go like, we don't need Oscar Isaac playing 3 separate characters who have no reference to who the other characters are, and they all have different accents. I think they somewhat combined Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley as a character, and then you just have Mark Spector as Moon Knight, multi-personality, mercenary guy over there. And then maybe Konchu, since he's a physical being in this one instead of just a hallucination, maybe he's supposed to be like the third personality in his head. But anyway, I hope this show ends. I hope it sticks the landing, because the takeoff sure has been great. I enjoyed Ethan Hawke's performance a lot. That being said, he didn't really do a lot in this episode. He was just like set up. Same with Mark and Steven and Moon Knight and Konchu and all that. It was set up, but there was still payoff for that setup in the episode. We're still left in the weeds with who Ethan Hawke's character is, other than the fact that he has the arm tattoo of the scales and he's like the avatar of this other Egyptian god, and he's got this whole like cult or whatever. He's supposed to be somebody from the comics. I'm not too sure. I read like the really early Moon Knight comics when he's like fighting Bushman, and the like 2013 one somewhat where he's like in an insane asylum. And I thought they were going to do that scene. If you don't know, I'll put it in the episode, but this is my last thing. When he's going up on the elevator ride and he's just ending up on the 3rd floor or the 5th floor every once in a while, and it's Konchu walking like he's fucking Slender Man towards the elevator thing. I thought he was going to go to the roof, and we were going to get the scene that is from one of the comics where he's escapes the insane asylum, I think, and he gets to the roof and he's in basically the underworld, and the sky's all green. There's like Konchu looking skeleton guys walking all over the place, and it's just like a destroyed city. I'll put the picture up if I can find it, but that's what I thought was going to happen. And I was like, I got really excited there, but I'm really glad what we got instead, which was the horror Konchu elevator scene. And also I liked how a lot of things were played for laughs, not to like enhance the comedy, but to enhance the chaos. And it's just Oscar Isaac's performance of not knowing what the fuck is going on, but like killing the acting is just added so much to the show. I think if they casted anybody else, I don't think it would have hit as hard as Oscar Isaac's performance. But that being said, we'll be back next week with episode 2 of Moon Knight. We're going to finish out the series here on CTS. with the next 5 episodes. I believe most of the Marvel series are 6 episodes long. This one did not have an after credit scene. Also, I should have said spoilers at the beginning, but I'll say it now, so you're not spoiled anymore. And I said it. So we should have Bean back on the channel very soon here. Frank is hopefully going to be patched into more episodes. If you like them, leave a comment below. If you think Oscar Isaac is a great Moon Knight and this series is going well, or let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think that's all we got. I'm going to close her out. My name is Ryan Superbad Sharp. You're welcome.